Amber.
Hello, Miss Daisy.
How are you? Hello, everybody. We are so excited to go live today.
It's been a long time.
It's been a minute. We always say that every time. You know what it is we need to just start going live like every single week like we used to. We haven't done that in a minute.
Yeah.
So we are happy to go live today with you guys. Please let us know what your questions are. Drop them in the comment box. Anytime, anything you want to know, drop it in the comment box. I'm trying to figure out where the camera is. Is it down here?
I don't know. I
think it's over there. I think we're using an iPad today.
If we're not looking in the right place, that's why.
That's why. We don't know where the camera is. This is a brand new system that we're using today. But we're really excited because we just learned about some new loan programs that we're going to be sharing with you that are giving us hope, right, with what's going on with this current market.
I mean, it's something exciting. There can't be just dreary stuff. There has to be something exciting.
Well, I mean, and that's been all we've heard and read in the news is horrible.
But
ugly.
I mean, honestly, the news is trying to stop inflation. So wouldn't they try to get you to stop buying houses?
Yeah, and it's all scripted anyway. So sorry, my allergies are really bad today. The wind is like 80,000 miles an hour. It's horrific.
Out there.
You haven't left your office as usual.
I haven't noticed the wind.
So thank you for joining us live. Like I said, it says real estate update in the title, but we are actually going to be sharing a lot of new information with you just about the real estate industry, but also about some really cool loan programs that Amber's been learning about that we want to talk to you about. I'm like super stoked. This is going to be a really good live. Please, if you have any questions at all about real estate, Las Vegas, moving to Vegas, why we're awesome, anything and everything you want to know, drop those comments in the comment box and we'll definitely answer those before we jump off, okay?
Yep.
Are you ready to jump in?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay, so Amber, I'm going to start with you. Before we jump into these amazing loan programs, if you have friends that are looking at getting loans, please, by all means, tell them to hop on this live. But before we jump into these amazing programs that we're doing backflips over, which I'm super excited about. Talk to me about what it's been over the last month of like when it comes to rates and kind of the vibe that you're feeling through the market.
Well, the vibe that I'm feeling is inflation.
Right. Well, and
everything talks about that. So then with inflation, everything kind of goes like this, right? So we're kind of in a different world than we were before. We're looking at different things than we did before.
Right.
What I'm trying to tell people right now is that I think for a long time we got spoiled. Like we got spoiled with equity, we got spoiled with lower rates, and honestly,
you said it to me. You said we were on a candy high.
That was like the best. We were on a sugar high for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful sugar high, but in reality, like I had to look yesterday. Why do I own a house?
Right.
I own a house because I need security. I need stability.
Right.
I need a sanctuary. I need something that I don't have to worry about my landlord kicking me out, or I have my own fears to worry about. I don't also want to worry about my landlord's fears and my landlord being scared of the market and then selling, and then I'm screwed and I have to move out of my house.
Right.
And I've been there before.
Or your landlord getting greedy and upping your rent $300, $400, $500 in a month.
So I don't want to worry about somebody else's fears. I want to worry about my fears.
Exactly.
So like how home ownership has been a lot about money. But in reality, home ownership is our foundation.
Yeah, it's our safe place, right?
It's our safe place. It's our sanctuary. It's everything to us.
Right.
Without it, it makes things kind of unstable in our whole lives.
I totally agree.
With that?
Yeah, and I think you and I, if you look back at the beginning of the pandemic, you and I were trying to figure out what's the message we're going to send out to people about this? Like, what do we say? We don't even know what's to come. And what we always stuck to was home has never been more important.
And I think it still is.
It's continued to
It's just home is more important. Plus, it had a lot of added benefits.
Right.
Home is still important.
Right.
Even though, we're still gaining equity. That's not expected to go away this year.
Right. So let's talk about that. Like, so with inflation and the war, and every day I feel like there's something that just knocks the wind out of our sails. Let's just get real. Like, what do we expect in the real estate market here in Nevada to happen over the next, let's give it 1 to 2 years. What do we think? I'll give my take. You tell me what your take is. My take is I believe that, rates are going to do this up and down, up and down. Rates are going to continue to be higher than usual. But again, we're on a sugar high and they're actually still quite good rates by comparison.
They're normal rates right now.
They're normal rates, right? So with that being said, rates are definitely going to continue to do this while the government figures out what they're going to do and if they're going to print more money or what they're, all of that, recession, all those big words that we don't need to even focus on. We're going to continue to have limited inventory because of a lot of the things we're talking about, right? People don't feel like they can sell their home because they don't want to dump money into a home that's the same size as the one that they're getting out of. If they're going to get out of a home, they either need to be downsizing or moving out of state or upgrading. And a lot of people just aren't in that position, right? So there's people who are sitting on their amazing investments. There's also a lot of hedge funds that have come in town and bought up a lot of our inventory. So there's a lot more rentals on the market now versus homes that should be sold. So limited inventory, but there's also still going to be a ton of buyers on the market, even with inflation, even with rates going up and down. So I don't foresee a huge change in the market as it is today, which is basically under a certain price point, under about 400,000 or 500,000. There's definitely a lot more competition out there. You definitely have to pay a little bit out of pocket or go above appraised value in a lot of senses and in a lot of instances. It's a seller's market, right? It's going to remain a seller's market. But I don't think that the rates, as well as it being a seller's market, is going to deter those people who have to move or really, really want to make this happen.
Yeah, I don't think so either. In fact, every report that I'm reading still shows that we're supposed to be gaining, somewhere around 11% in equity this year. So the people who are smart enough to fight that good fight right now, to stay in the race, to bid, come out of pocket if they have to begrudgingly do it, but to do it, are earning returns on that decision right away. You're still earning returns on it. And to be honest with you, why would investors be buying up all the houses cash? I just pulled a report, and it is, nationwide, 28% of houses are sold cash.
Right.
In Vegas, it looks like it's much
40 to
more
60%.
than that.
Yeah, we were looking at a report by zip code to show cash purchases. Now, cash purchases aren't always investors, right? They could be people moving from California, cashing out on a sale there, but we're seeing large majority of purchasers are hedge funds and investors. And we were looking at the report, and I can't tell you the exact number, but just scanning the report, I don't think that there was more than 3 or 4 zip codes that were below 40%.
Yeah,
in terms of 40% of closings since the beginning of the year as cash buyers.
It's crazy looking at the report, especially in certain zip codes. But the question is, because I keep seeing all this stuff, and I went down the rabbit hole the other day.
Right. Yes, you did.
I was like, dang, there's some negativity out there. I keep seeing all this stuff about crashing, and I'm like, when it crashed, there was 18,000 houses listed on the market.
Right now we have maybe 2,000, just to give you
that's a big difference. Right? So to crash would mean that you'd have to have an overabundance of houses in order for them to say, ooh, we're not buying right now.
Right.
Little houses means that buyers are still going to be fighting over it because people still need a house.
Right.
So crashing isn't really in the cards right now.
Right. And rent is on the rise, and I've said this on a few of our previous lives, and this all sounds doom and gloom, but I promise we have some good news here, so hang tight. Rent is on the rise. I've seen in some instances across the valley, we're on average about 20 to 22% higher in rent year over year, what people are charging for rent, but there's been even instances of 40% hikes in certain zip codes, depending. So that's scary. That's
really scary. I just talked to someone just about an hour ago, and I was like, wow, that's your rent? And he's like, they raised it $700 last month. I was like,
so what's he doing? He's buying, right?
So he's trying to buy. Because then at least you know what you're paying every month and you can budget for it instead of having to, again, worry about someone else's fears. Another person's afraid that they're going to lack, so they're going to charge you more, or they're afraid, so they're like, we're going to hurry up and sell, get out.
Right.
So you're living somebody else's fears instead of dealing with your own all the time.
So I know you said you agree, but you were definitely doing this job in 2006, right? So you saw that
since 2002. That makes me old.
No, it doesn't. It makes you experienced and wise, my love. Experienced and wise. So with that being said, there's been a lot of cross comparison along the way. I mean, God, even since 2019, there's going to be a crash. There's going to be a crash. It's 2006 all over again. There's going to be a crash. There's not going to be a crash. There's not going to be a crash.
People get scared when they start seeing the houses climb.
Yes. There may be a recession. There may be inflation. There may be a lot of things around that feel like that. But to Amber's point, you have to have too many homes and values of homes dropping in order for the crash experience to happen. So, but help me compare what this feels like on other fronts to that time frame.
Well, should we talk loan programs?
Well, that's kind of what I'm leading to, because I'm really excited because, up to this point we've been saying it's not 2006 and 7. It's not 2006 and 7, which it's not in that sense. But you're starting to see some programs pop up that
it honestly
feel like
it excites me a little bit. Today I was on the phone getting the lowdown of a bunch of different programs.
I'm going to look at questions while you talk, yes.
Okay, so I was getting the lowdown of a bunch of different
okay, hold on, I'm going to pause it because I'm clearly really not figuring
behind.
Go ahead, yeah.
But you can go. I could talk. But
do it. Let's do this.
So anyway, I was talking to one of the people that I work with about a bunch of different programs that are out. Like somebody going over programs with me, and I'm like, okay, this stuff really excites me because what happened during COVID is a lot of the different type of loan programs that were out there. When COVID hit, people were like, and the bank started pulling off, right? Yeah. And anybody that was self-employed, the self-employed people really got screwed during COVID. Like a lot of the self-employed programs were pulled back.
Yes, we did. Yes.
Yeah, right. A lot of the self-employed programs were pulled back. Just a lot of non-owner
a lot of
programs,
extra scrutiny.
A lot of the banks. There was extra scrutiny that was ridiculous. Like ridiculous.
Like after the keys were in the hand of the buyer, they were calling to confirm if they really worked where they worked. Like I'll never forget that happened like 3 times with some of my, like they were calling to still confirm after they already bought and closed the home at 5 p.m. that day if they actually worked and still had that job. Yeah, because
some of those rules would come out like
that day.
Oh, we got to hurry up and verify.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy stuff, but a lot of self-employed people, just a lot of the different programs that were out there, they went away. Right. And so if you were a W-2 borrower, if you had good credit or decent credit, I mean, FHA, VA, conventional, you were good. You can get a loan and the rates were awesome, right? It was a benefit. But if you were outside the box in any way, not so good. No. There was hardly any programs out there for you. Well, let me tell you, the outside the box programs, they're back right now.
They're back with a vengeance.
Yes, like in some of them I'm looking and I'm like, oh, okay, so we're just calling them different things right now.
Yep.
You know, than what they used to be called, but they're out there again. So
that's actually, you know, I know that there's probably going to be people who comment and say, you know, well, that's going to put us into a tailspin and it's going to, you know, give us the same issues as before. The issues that we had in 2006 and 7 were that there was fraudulent bank loans being given out to people who did not earn the money that they were supposed to earn.
Yeah.
A lot of what did you say? If you could walk and breathe, you could
you could get a loan. And the other thing is they were giving these loans out at 100% financing.
Right.
If you went into a loan and you did like a no ratio loan, and that was where you just didn't put income down on the application. You didn't put assets down in the application, so you didn't necessarily have to work because nothing was verified. You didn't have to make anything because nothing was verified, and you can get a loan. Those programs aren't out yet, and they're not. I shouldn't say they're not out yet. They're not out. These programs are all going to require down payment.
Right.
If you have skin in the game, it's very hard for you to want to foreclose on it.
So that's how they're going to balance it out from what it was before to now, because you're saying that these do feel a little bit like 2006 loan programs inside which is exciting because
but they have down payment,
more freedom, pardon me, but they do have down payment, which kind of balances the scales. So talk to me about what some of these programs are. And by the way, just to remind you, if you're watching this, please comment below if you have questions. I'm seeing a few of them pop in, so I'll make sure to answer those in a few minutes. Definitely want to get your feedback on what we're talking about, and I want to hear more about these programs.
I'm going to only go over a couple of them because, you know, we got to
save a few, right? So that means you have to tune in next week.
Yeah. So the first one is called Fix and Flip. So, you know, the companies like Open Door that's out there, OfferPad that's out there, they make a lot of money, right?
Not all of them did it right. I think Zillow just lost their asses because they got a little too frenzied and crazy, but and decided to back off on that. But the other ones,
they were probably buying houses for too much.
Yes, they were paying too much because they just wanted to get the you know, grab them up.
So Fix and Flip is kind of where you have the opportunity to be that investor, right? So you can buy a house that you don't intend to hold. You're intending to, it's a distressed house. You're able to get it much cheaper than you would have any other ways, right? So you're buying a distressed house. You can take that house and fix it up and then sell it later. Usually that's a problem. And usually if you buy an investment property, you're having to put down a crazy amount of money down. This is less money than you would on an investment property. If you have a history in doing this, it's even less money.
If you have a history in flipping or homes or buying and selling homes.
Yeah, if you have a history in real estate, buying and selling homes, then because you already know what you're doing.
Knowledge,
this is not like you're not a guinea pig in this at all. Then they're giving you more incentives, so it's less down.
So Fix and Flip is what it's called, and you're saying to me that they're offering less down payment than some of the traditional investment loans.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Give me some of the other takes on that. Like what kind of an income do you have to have?
Well, here's the crazy thing too, is that on these loans, You can close, so you can't close any other loan in an LLC.
Right.
People ask me all the time, can I do
you
this
can't
in
put
an
it
LLC?
in an LLC. I even tried to do that.
You can put the title in an LLC after it closes, but you can't put the loan in an LLC. If you have an LLC, you want to start investing in properties, you can actually put this loan in an LLC. It will not show up on your credit report. It goes in the LLC, and on top of that, this is what part I found was crazy. If you want to do like 3 or 4 or 5 properties at the same time, you're going to do it in the LLC, and we're going to put it under one loan program.
Wow.
With all of those
one
houses
payment?
that you're doing, one payment.
Wow.
With all of those houses that you're doing.
How long do they give you to sell these fix and flip homes after you close on the home and start the work?
12 months. So you have the loan for, I mean, honestly, you're going to probably fix the house up in 3 or 4 months and sell it, right? But they're giving you 12 months.
Wow.
So really what they're doing is they're incentivizing, like right now, a lot of people are out there paying cash for houses, right?
Right.
So they're going to incentivize you to, hey, we can leverage your money that you were going to pay cash for that house.
Get a bunch of loans,
buy
multiple houses, right.
Instead of the, you know, like the one house you were going to buy and finance them, especially if you're going to flip them.
Wow.
And there's other investment loans out there too where, you know, because some of the people that are doing investment loans, you're self-employed. So what happens when you're self-employed? You're writing off a lot in your taxes.
Right.
So then you don't have a lot of programs out there. But there's also investment loans, and you can do this fix and flip as the investment loan where you don't have to show your income. Your income is basically the rent, the revenue that's being received for that particular house.
Wow.
They're just making sure that there's enough revenue coming off that house in rents. So like if you're doing a condo-tel, if you're doing, you know, non-warrantable condo, you can do all of those.
So not just
program.
homes. So here's the thing I want to make sure you just heard is this isn't just the homes, you know, because I immediately would think, oh great, so we're just out there competing against everybody else who has cash, so it makes it difficult to buy those cheaper homes that you can fix and flip. But if you're doing a condo-tel, which is like Palms Place,
and
Signature,
not as many people buy condos.
Not as many people buy those. I would love to buy one. In fact, I've been trying to buy one for like 3 years, but there haven't been loan programs to support what I was trying to do financing wise. Now there are. So it's a condo-tel.
If you want to think outside the box,
non-warrantable condos, which has been a huge hard problem.
Yeah,
for
non-warrantable. So some of the high rises fit into that. There's a lot of different condos that will fit into that. You can do multiple different programs on this same program.
That's awesome.
And then the other thing too is that you can do, like, if we have anybody from out of the country, foreign nationals work on this program. You can do foreign nationals, fix and flip it, or you can do it as an investor and just buy it as a foreign national without having to provide much of anything.
And that's a lot of the questions that we get from people who watch us. We have a lot of people overseas who watch us and they're trying to invest in Vegas. They want to put their money somewhere secure. You know, we love that. They might move here someday. They want a vacation home. And they haven't been able to do it because you have to establish credit. You have to do all the, and not that they won't have to do some of that.
This takes foreign nationals.
Wow. That's really cool.
And a lot of times with foreign nationals, especially during COVID, they were really picky on, like, you know, Canadians we had Canadian foreign nationals, but they were really picky other than that. And I didn't understand why, but this isn't so picky.
That's awesome. So this is the fix and flip loan. We're probably going to do a full video about it with a lot more detail, a little bit more organized in terms of how we spread the info out. But if you're watching this, you're getting the info first and foremost. And if you're interested in learning more about that loan program, there's an information link. You can text us, you can call us, you can email us in the description below. Let us know. What I like about this is that the LLC is really cool. It really the fact that you can, you know, buy multiples and kind of do that. If you have experience, or if you're the handyman, or you have the ability to get your construction crew set up and ready to go, that you could actually do this. And the fact that they include programs like non-warrantable condos and condo-tels, which have been up to this point the hardest to get a loan for, is really exciting.
And you know what else is exciting? You can do even more units than this. You can do, I think it's up to 29 units.
Who wants to go into business with me, guys? Let's do this. I love it. I love it. Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot to this
program. So were these types of programs available in 2006?
Yeah, there were these type of programs available. I mean, 2006, remember?
I mean, it was basically everything was available.
Everything, like you could do, but we haven't seen them since the meltdown.
Right.
Oh, and well, I mean, okay, they started coming back out with these things before COVID.
Okay, so this wasn't something that's
right
just
when COVID hit,
right.
They started opening them up, but right now I'm seeing them a lot more lenient. Like this is an investment program. The other one that I was going to talk about is a 3-month bank statement program. So this is owner occupied. So some of these programs were really strict when it came to owner occupied investors.
Right.
You know, there's been so many laws that it's hard to get owner occupied, but the bank statement program that is available right now, all you have to do is provide 3 months worth of bank statements.
And that sounds a little bit like
it's almost like stated income,
which we have been asked 1,000 times in our live streams. Do you do stated income loans? How do you get a state? Are they available? And it's been hell no since 2006. Now you're saying these programs have been available since before the crash, but then kind of were slowed down and pulled back because, or not the crash, pardon me, COVID, pardon me, and then pulled back and slowed down, but now they're starting to eke back up. So they're not in direct result to what's happening in the world right now, but they are a nice Band-Aid and a nice infusion, if you will, for what's happening
and
right now.
These are more lenient than I've seen in a long time. More lenient than I've seen in a long time.
Code word for yes, that's what that is. Code word for those of you who have stuff that's prevented you, things that have been prevented you from getting a loan in the past, whether it be, I haven't been in my job this long, whatever that is, and I don't know if those are the things that are going to be passed on or not, or waived, but things that have stopped you in the past, it might not be something that should stand in the way any further.
Yeah, it's worth a phone call, worth a phone call, so we can see if there's a way to make that happen.
With all these new programs, you're saying no before might be a yes now. Right?
Yes. Don't take a no without calling.
Yes. Call us. We'll let you know if no is now going to be able to turn into a yes. And that's exciting too. You know, I know we talk a lot about the limited inventory making it really difficult for people to even get the homes that they want in the price point that they want, because there is so much competition against a lot of the people who are hedge funds or people who have cash. But with some of these programs, you might be able to piece and parcel it together to where you actually do have the funds out of pocket to be able to compete in a way that you might not have been able to do before, because they're offering less money down and things like that. So it's always worth a phone call. So if you're thinking about buying, if you thought about buying in the past and you've been told no, if you've been told no by other lenders, please don't think that that's the end of your road. Let this wizard of loans here do her magic.
It's exciting to step back into the wizard world, though. Like that went
Where's your hat? Where's your wand?
I need a hat. I need to put it in my office,
I'm getting you a wizard. I'm getting you an entire wizard sorcerer's stone outfit. Okay, so fix and flip, and then the other one was a 3-month bank statement loan.
3-month bank statement loan.
Let's give them one more. Do you have another one? You only going to talk about those.
I wasn't prepared for more because I thought we were going to wait on it.
Okay, we're going to wait on it.
Hold on. Let me look really fast. Oh, well, I mean, we kind of did
this one too. You can do this one.
So 12-month bank statement loan. So when you're self-employed, you have you're a lot of times you're not filing on your taxes what you make, because honestly you're going to write your car off. You're gonna write everything that you can off, right? So your taxes are showing low, which makes getting a house a little bit hard sometimes, right? So there's a 12-month bank statement loan where you can provide 12 months bank statements.
Right.
We add up the deposits within those bank statements. If it's personal bank statements, it's a lot easier than it's business, but you can still do it with business bank statements.
Love that.
That program goes down to a 600 FICO score. What? That just opened that low. I've never seen them that low before.
Wow.
Like usually we'd be at 680 or above.
Right.
It just opened to where they're allowing 600 FICO score to do that type of program.
And the difference that I'm noticing just from looking here at between the 3-month bank statement loan and the 12-month bank statement loan is your loan to value is a little bit different. So it's 75% of your loan to right? Is this LTV, loan to value, purchases, things like that?
On the 3-month bank statement.
You get the 12-month bank statement loan, they give you a little bit more, and a loan you can borrow a little bit more. But it's really incredible to see that the 3-month bank statement loan requires a little bit of a higher credit score, but even just the 12-month bank statement loan going down to 600 is crazy.
Yeah, I know, it is crazy.
This is stuff we haven't seen in a minute.
Well, because they haven't come, like I said, the guidelines have really lightened up on these. Lenders have come out with, I mean, and honestly, they've had a lot of time to examine, like, okay, people that are self-employed are doing this, and this with their loans. So a lot of times when you are showing bank statement loans, I don't think their foreclosure rates on bank statement loans have been that high. So that's why they're starting to see a little bit more leniency on it. Once they start seeing more foreclosures happening and stuff like that, then we might be a little bit, tighter. So
so this is great news, and we're going to go to I see a lot of activity, so I want to go to the questions and comments. I'm sure there's some opinions on some of the stuff we're saying, so I want to go over there in a minute. But the reason this is good news is that, like I said before, a lot of you guys have been trying to buy and have had to either pause your purchasing process or gotten frustrated because you just can't seem to compete or whatever. And now these new loan programs may be able to help you put together something that's going to give you more money out of pocket and give you a chance to really move forward in a stronger fashion to be able to compete, or it might elevate what you're able to borrow. I mean, you might really be able to put something new together. So it's always worth a phone call. We want everybody to be able to own a home. This isn't about us making money, although this is what we do for a living. We want everyone to have
we do what's right and then we get paid.
Thank you. We do what's right and then we get paid. And that the bottom line is because we want everybody to be able to, live and only manage their own fears on a daily basis, to your point, and not be worried about your landlord's fears or what if you're going to get kicked out or they're going to sell your house or raise your rent or whatever.
And I think the media is going crazy right now because inflation needs to slow down, and the biggest place where there's inflation is the housing market, but we can't be fear mongered into doing something that's not right for us.
So we're trying to bring hope. This is always our stance. Heather, I was reading something here. We've always, I don't know why, I was just reading something here. We've always tried to bring hope to the forefront. I was starting to say hope to the forefront, and then it just stumbled into one Heather. I don't know why. Hope to the forefront because, at the end of the day, we've gone through 3 solid years now of bad news and ups and downs, and we're fine. Everybody's still fine. We're still here. People are still buying homes. We're still selling homes.
And these programs are going to help people to continue to buy homes. Whenever it gets tight, there's more programs that come out.
Right. So, and I was as a realtor and just someone who, wants to see that smile on someone's face, knowing that they have the comfort, their sanctuary, their home. It kills me seeing the hedge funds come in and swoop in and take up all the homes. It kills us seeing clients write 5, 6, 7, 10 offers and just not being able to compete. So these give to what my point before, we're bringing hope to the forefront, and these are going to give us hopefully a little bit more strength behind what we're trying to do. I want to say too, before we go to the questions and answers, Amber and I are going to be starting a new series where we start to roll out, anytime there's a new loan program, we're going to come to you immediately the minute we learn about it. We're going to do a video. So please stay tuned. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe now. Turn that little bell on so you can be notified when we go live and all these good things, because we don't want you to miss out. If you're not looking to move or borrow, but someone else is, we want to make sure that you're the one that's able to carry that good information to them, right? Exactly. All right, let me go over here and see what people are saying. I'm sure this is bringing up all kinds of rowdy stuff. So Jonathan says, hi from Flushing, New York. Hello, Jonathan. Jake says, Las Vegas gal with a little cowboy emoji. Thank you, Jake. Jeffrey says, hey, Lacey and Amber. And then we've got, you guys nailed it with HFs buying. There won't be a crash as long as they're involved. Big money doesn't lose like casinos. Hedge funds buying, as long as there's money involved, they're not going to lose. So where the hedge funds go, we should go, right?
Why is there talk about the market crashing? Why would the hedge funders be putting money in if it's going to crash? It's not.
I don't get it.
That's why they're putting so much money in.
Brad Tebow, hey Amber and Lacey, Brad from Accra here. Is that Accra, one of the lending companies that you work with?
Yes, awesome. That's amazing.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Hey. Let's see. Aussie Expat says, "Oh, so like Zillow didn't just lose billions?" ? Oh, he's talking to Toros X3. Zillow did lose billions. I think I touched on that a little bit a while ago.
I didn't see that. What happened?
Zillow just made some poor buying decisions, in my opinion, based on the type of homes they were buying. They were buying them above market value. I don't think that they did the groundwork that some of the other companies who've done well. They didn't have the
researchers behind them telling them.
And that's weird because Zillow's an incredibly large, huge, big company, but they need to stick to what they know, and it is definitely not, being a property management company or flippers, if you will. And so they stopped doing that flip program during COVID.
They realized that they can't do everything.
Me too. So it says, and then, there's some back and forth saying in 2006 and 2007, no banks at all were hurt by the real estate crash. That's a good point. The banks weren't hurt, and neither were the hedge funds. Everybody got paid, right? So we want you guys to be getting paid as well and taking advantage of this. Aussie says the return of the ARMs. Do you think the ARM programs are ever going to come back?
They are coming back. They are right now.
Yeah, talk to me about that. What does that mean for us?
It just means, ARMs aren't necessarily bad.
Right.
You just have to know what you're getting in for. Right. So, let's say, 30-year fixed rates, now that they're rising a little bit. Keep in mind, they're still at good levels, but they're higher than they have. They've moved faster than they ever have before.
Right. And they're probably not going to go down, low anytime soon.
So an ARM gives you an ability to lock in for 5 years and then take a lower rate. So you have 5 years before you have to really pay attention to see if you want to redo that loan. So if you're going to look to move short term, so say you're moving into your first house and it's only going to be like a 3 to 4 year move, then
Right.
why would you take the higher rate anyway?
Right.
Just take the
Do
5
the
year
arm, sell when you're
arm,
gonna sell,
and
you're
then
done.
sell when you're going
Right.
to sell, but know what you're getting in for, so that when that 5 years comes around, you're not held
good
with any
point.
surprises. Or if you think it's going to take longer,
Right.
then there's 5-year arms, there's 7-year arms, there's 10-year arms.
Right.
There's all those that are, they're coming back out, so I haven't seen like all the rates on
Right.
those just yet, except for in
Right.
the jumbo world.
And why they got such a bad rap before was that people didn't, supposedly were not educated enough back in the day when they were being signed on for by many lenders around the world. They were not being educated to understand what exactly they were getting into, to your point.
And they were 2-year arms, so
Right.
there's 2 and 3
2 years
was most of what you're
Mhm.
doing, and honestly 2 years goes by without
in 5 seconds.
yeah, really fast. So right now there's been laws that have passed since the meltdown to make sure that what happened last time doesn't happen again. You have to receive a booklet separately,
Right.
sign the booklet that tells you everything about the arm.
Right.
There's so many different
So there's a massive education
disclosures
process
that
in
you're
it.
signing. And
Right.
to be honest with you, I'm going to make sure that you don't go into that
Right.
without knowing everything,
Right.
because I don't want to feel responsible
Right.
if something goes wrong.
No, that's a good point.
You
But that's a
know?
good. Thank you, Aussie Expat, saying return of arms. Flipper loans, red flags, more inflation. Definitely more inflation. We know that's happening. We're not experts on inflation, so we're not going to go into it. I don't know that there's red flags though. I think that this gives us hope. The red flags, in my opinion, is the negativity, claiming there's crashes, and just the misinformation out there about what's happening.
There's a ton of misinformation.
Yeah.
And these programs, you got to keep in mind, the more risky they are, the more down payment the client's going to put, because the more down payment someone's going to put in the house, the less likely they are to walk away.
Right.
And the foreclosures are what happened last time.
Right.
When people just were like, forget it, I'm walking away. It's because they had no investment in that property. So
Right.
that research has been done to find out exactly where the foreclosures were, and they kind of know where the lines are right now.
That's good to know. That's
So-
good to know. All right, let me scooch down here. Let's see. Rocky 10950 says, "Do you have homes that cost millions of dollars?" Yes, Rocky, we do. We have actually have a house
We'd
that's
be happy
listed.
to help you buy
I'm
one.
happy to help you buy one if you're interested, or sell one. Frankly, we have a house listed right now in a beautiful 55 plus community that I have a video about. If you'd like to check it out, it's a gorgeous home listed for 1.2 million. Beautiful. We just sold a $2.3
I think I saw your
million.
video on that.
That's
It's a beautiful house. Yeah.
Yeah, so we do have homes in Las Vegas that are worth millions of dollars. What you would pay millions for here is far larger and far better than you would pay multiple millions for in places like California that are far more overpriced. So yeah, we definitely are still affordable when it comes to that. JF says, "Do you need 20% down for this program?" So we're probably talking about the fix and flip program, or maybe even the 3-month bank statement. So let's ask.
The 3-month bank statement, you have to have 25% down for the 3-month bank statement. The fix and flip, it all depends on how much experience you have buying and selling.
So there's like a
houses.
rating system of like,
There's
if
a
you've
rating
been
system.
done this many house sales, you get a point for each sale of home or whatever. Or
That's exactly how they do it. They give you points.
I literally just made that up.
Yeah, I know, but that's how they do it.
Okay.
That's what they do. They talk about the points on it. So
Okay.
if you do, if like say it's your first time doing this, then yes, you'll have to put down 20%.
Got it.
If you've done it 3 times, 4 times, then you can put down less. It goes
That's
to 10%,
really
10%
freaking
down.
awesome. That's
Which,
awesome.
where do you get that on an investment
Right.
loan? That kind of
You
down
don't.
payment.
For those of you
So-
just tuning in, we've been talking about fix and flip loans, 12-month bank statement loans, 3-month bank statement loans, and ARMs coming back online, and just the changes that are happening in the loan sector to help bring hope a little bit to people who might want to buy homes. Even though there's inflation and all those things, there's still people that need to buy homes, and we want you to buy homes. We should not be renting right now. Now is not the time to be renting unless you're on the other side of it and you are the renter, landlord, owner, right?
Yeah,
All right, let's scooch down here. Brad says you're not getting income until the project is complete and you have a renter, either long-term or short-term. And I think he was asking a question. Someone above said, how do you get rental income if you're fixing or flipping the house? Because there was a moment where you said they count that towards it.
Yeah,
And he was
thank
answering,
you, Brad.
saying,
We
thank
love
you,
it that
Brad.
you're here.
Yeah, so you're getting income on that project if it's complete, or you have a renter, or long-term or short-term, which is amazing. Interesting. Foreign nationals, Glenn says. Aussie expat, you're very negative today. You're not normally this negative. What's going on? Let's do this. JM says, I'm in. Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome. Thank you for all the questions. Drop your question in below. We're going to give you guys a few more minutes, and then we're going to pop down and say goodbye for today. But make sure you tune in and subscribe, click the bell, because we're going to be doing a lot of loan program specific lives.
We're gonna smother you with all
loans.
kinds of ways to get you home.
We're going to
ownership in
bathe
the
you with
best
the
way
loan monies.
possible, yes.
All right. Let's see. Oh man, Ozzy, I'm so sorry. Do banks have 50-year fixed mortgages yet? Says Robert.
Not yet.
Not yet. Is that something that's been
They
talks?
opened up the 40-year, during the meltdown. I haven't seen a lot of long terms like that. I'm assuming that's probably what's going to come next. Is we're going to start seeing some longer term loans.
That's interesting.
I haven't even seen talk about 50-year loans though. Like that's a long time, but it's a good question.
That's a great question. Actually, I'd never even thought of that. It's Dan says, so true. I've just started working with Amber and Lacey's groups in an official capacity. What an amazing help and guidance. Looking forward to more. So helpful. Cheers, Dan. Thank you. I love it
so much, Dan.
Thank you so much. Let's see. Glenn wants me to get you a wizard hat. Paul Carl Lucas says, can the individual homeowners be on the hook for a poorly managed HOA debts or defaults? Can the individual homeowners be on the hook?
Well, it depends. So, like, if it's a condo, and there's litigations,
yes, it affects the ability to sell.
It affects it. But single families, if you
I don't think I've seen that in a single family capacity. So that's a really good question, Paul Carl Lucas. You join us all. I don't think I'm saying your name wrong too. We will get back to you if I have more info, but I'm pretty sure the answer is no on that one. Let's see. Hey ladies, Sammy Bowen. Hey Sammy, you're always so sweet. She always shows so much love. Showing some love. Have an amazing day. Let's see. What's the best way to have a down payment if you have only ever rented and don't have equity in a home? So basically, what's a good way to save for down payment?
If you have a 401k that you can put into out of your paycheck, a lot of people will do it that way.
Yep.
And then cash out of the 401k because you're moving it from one investment to another. So that's an easier way to do it because then you're not having to. My advice that I give to everybody, including my own kids, is when you get paid, you pay yourself first. You give yourself 10% out of every paycheck and you don't touch it.
Yep.
So then at some point when you have to buy something, you're going to have that nest egg that you can turn to. Sometimes you can do that in the form of a 401k or something like that. So
I love that, and I'm a big believer too, especially with inflation and gas being more expensive and people, and just rent getting higher. A lot of people may say, well, easy for you to say, putting 10% out of your paycheck. Well, I'm hand to mouth right now trying to make payments. So I'm a big believer if you are not able to do that. Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V style. If you don't know who Gary V is, follow him. He is all about go find something in your garage that you haven't used for 5 years and figure out how to sell it. Put that money in the bank or put it under your bed, right?
Be resourceful.
Be resourceful. Go to garage sales and buy stuff that you can flip and sell online. Be resourceful. Put your, start a small, t-shirt making business for, $500 investment and see how much you can turn and churn that. So, Gary Vaynerchuk's I'm a big fan of his, and I'm a big promoter of hustle mentality. If you want to buy a house, figure out a way to do it.
There's always a way.
Yeah, there's always a way. How much are you spending on coffee every day? How much money did you spend at the on wine last week? Is there a way that you can maybe cut down on your grocery bill and things like that? Maybe don't go out as much. So big believer in that. So just get real with yourself if you really want to buy. And great question, Sammy. Thank you. Those are the kind of conversations you got to have with yourself. I got to have those conversations with myself these days too. So Robert Rice says hello from Nebraska. Hello, Robert. And let's see. Oh, Ozzy says, I love the post-sale financing tip we gave last time. His friends like that. That was a really great tip.
Nice.
I've gotten a lot of feedback on that. Can we review that one more time?
What?
Remember the deal that lets you, what was it? They give you the money before you have to sell your home, and then it's the bridge loan.
Oh, the bridge loan. Yeah, the bridge loan's an amazing loan. There's a different ones too. There's a bridge loan and there's a cross collateralization.
That's
loan.
The one we were talking about.
The cross collateralization.
Yes.
It's been so long, I forgot what we were talking about. Yes.
Don't remind me. I miss you too.
I know. So yeah, the cross collateralization is an amazing loan. You do have to, you have to have a lot of equity in the house that you're selling, but you could.
For them to give you the money, right?
Double it up. Utilize that equity to buy the new house,
right?
And then kind of put it together in one loan.
I love that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't checked that out, click back and watch our last live. Love for you to learn more about that.
Thanks for listening, though.
Thank you.
Paying attention, we love it.
Michael Markowitz, my love, we miss you so much. He says hello from the Erie Shore. We love you. We miss you.
It's good to see your.
Come back and visit us.
Your name on there. Yes, come back and visit.
And Winston says hello. So want to thank you all for joining us live. We get on here and we get a little crazy because we want to share all the good news.
Do we sound crazy?
I always feel like I sound crazy because I am, so it's fine. But like I said before, please subscribe, please click the bell, please tune in because we are going to be sharing lots of new programming like what we're talking about that may turn your previous no to a yes when it comes to buying a home. And we're in it for the long haul.
And to give you hope. It's a dreary world out there. We don't want to be part of that.
Right. So if anything, let us bring you some sunshine and rainbows for a little bit and help the fact that you are in it with us. We're in it with you. You're part of the team. When you join the team with Amber and my team, we're in it to win it, you know, and if it's going to take 30 offers, it'll take 30 offers. If it's going to take 30 years, it's going to take 30 years. We're here. We want to be a part of your process, and we want to make sure that your journey to Las Vegas and into a home, more than anything, not even just to Las Vegas, is an easy and beautiful one.
You're going to
with
love
a happy
Las
ending.
Vegas.
Yes.
We're excited to see you here.
Yes. Thank you for joining us live. We're going to go live again next week, so stay tuned. And got lots of fun videos coming out on the channel this week. So let me know what you're thinking of all the new videos and content we're putting out. Having a lot of fun, and really would love some feedback so I can decide if I'm going to keep doing it like this or continue to make changes. But what else? Anything else from you, my love?
I think we covered a lot today.
I love you.
We're
I'm
gonna
so
do
grateful.
more next week, though.
I love when you bring good news.
I
and
know.
I'm excited.
I think next week we should talk USDA.
All right, next week we're going to talk USDA. We're going to title it as such so you know what you're getting into. We are always here for you. Again, whether you're living here temporarily or you're living here full time, visiting or not, we want to help you learn how to live your best Las Vegas life. We want to help you get into a home if that's your goal. At the end of the day, we just want to have you love living in Las Vegas, whether it's for 24 to 48 hours or 24 to 48 years. So all in.
And to have your sanctuary.
We love you. We love you, and we want you guys to own homes. And I'm just so excited about both of these loan programs today. And I have to go start working on saving some money. So no coffee for me today. All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.